Welcome to the Antique Mall. We've been in business 27 years with 13 separate dealers and over 10,000 square feet of space. We're unique because of our fun outside space. With funky, rusty, artistic vintage yard art, we have hit-and-miss engines, old stoves, old tools, picks and shovels. And then on the inside, we've got dolls, jewelry, books, collectibles, and trains, including American Flyer, Lionel, and Tyco, all available in many scales. Come and visit us 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., located at 10104 off the US 50 freeway in Mound House, Nevada. Come and see us. Welcome to the Old House Antique Showcase, brought to you by Trinity Heart Media for the Trimedia streaming services. This week we're going to catch up with Dan Clements at Tanner's Marketplace to see what is hot and what is not. Well, we're in our next episode of the Old House Antique Showcase, and we're here at Tanner's Marketplace at the Reno Convention Center, and we're here with the man himself, Dan Clements. Dan, you brought Tanner's Marketplace, or you've kept Tanner's Marketplace going for many, many years. Tell us a little about the history.
Yeah, for many years. Mr. Tanner brought the show to Reno in 1976. He was putting on shows in Salt Lake City and expanded out to Reno, and actually had them at this big convention center back then in the big room. It was much bigger in the heyday. And when he decided to retire, he sold it to a gal named Gay Elliker, and she put it on for a number of years. And then I purchased the show from her in 2013, and then we moved it here to the convention center about 6 years ago.
All right, very good. And how has the show been doing year after year?
Oh, it's just getting better every year, especially since we moved it here. The room here is so nice, and it's beautiful.
Nice. So the types of vendors that you're going to find at Tanner's Marketplace, it seems like it's a pretty interesting collection. What are some of the types of vendors that you have here?
We have so many vendors here. We've got about 70 at this show. And it goes everything from the crafters doing little pot holders to people selling high-end, very high-end antiques, and everything in between.
And some of them may even do their own crafts, I understand.
Exactly. We've got some nice crafters here, really nice. Pretty
eclectic collection. So show us a little bit about what's at your booth.
Oh, this is just a tiny bit of...
Tiny booth?
Yeah. I just got a few things out here today because I'm so busy putting on the show.
Yeah, I would imagine it'd be hard for you to kind of be behind here and sell things.
Right. So I just put together a small example.
Okay, so do you actually have a bigger booth here, someplace else on the floor?
Not myself.
Not yourself?
I'm so busy putting on the show that I'm lucky to get this much.
Now, Paula, does she have a booth here somewhere?
No, she mans the front.
She's just kind of helping you. She's part of the management.
She's the person that all the vendors come to for the money and everything.
Okay, so we're going to float around the show, talk to some of your vendors, and just kind of make a lay of the land.
Yeah, have fun and enjoy.
All right, well, thanks for having us today, Dan.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, well, so we're here with Tom at Tanner's in his booth at Tanner's Marketplace. Tom, welcome to the Old House Antique Showcase.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. I don't know if you're aware, we are both a local and also a global show on a streaming network where we talk about antiques, collectibles, and the folks who are behind those antiques and collectibles, and you're behind this booth.
Yes, I am.
So tell us a little bit about your booth here.
Well, I retired and I decided that I was going to get rid of my collection of stuff, and then it just became something that I so enjoyed that I decided to do it full time, basically. So I do yard sales, garage sales, and estate sales on the weekends, and I pretty much buy what I like.
Nice. What kinds of things catch your eye typically?
You know, I like things that are handmade, so a lot of pottery pieces. I like things that are natural, so made of wood, metal. All my brushes are, natural horsehair brushes. So just those kind of things that you don't find anymore, and I try to find as much from made in the USA as I can. For example, this one used to be a hanger for a gentleman's jacket, and it folded up to brush any lint off of your clothing.
Wow.
So it's a great piece because it's got many functions, and it can go a little bit smaller as well.
I don't think I've ever seen something that could double as a brush and a coat hanger.
Yeah, kind of neat.
See, but that's...
And wood and natural hair.
And and that's kind of typical for old style stuff.
Yeah.
It was made intelligently with lots of different uses in mind.
Yep.
It wasn't just a brush, or wasn't just a coat hanger.
Yeah.
It was multifunctional.
Natural fiber and wood.
Nice.
Not a lot of plastic in my booth.
Okay, and you also mentioned pottery. Do you have any of the pottery back here?
Yeah, I do have some older pieces, a lot of McCoy, again, made in the U.S., but then I also do art pottery. So this was by a local artist, and I bought a bunch of the things with lids, and it's just nice to have a variety.
My son in high school started tinkering with pottery, and he got quite good at it. He made me like a dip chip platter and some coffee mugs, and it's kind of neat. Kind of having homemade stuff like that.
It is, yeah.
So what anything that you're especially proud of back here? Or?
Well, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
And so this is a signed edition of Albert Hubbard books, and he was the head of the Roycroft in East Aurora, New York. It's all arts and crafts, and the books are pretty special. They're all hand done, hand printed, and signed. Here's the signature.
Oh, nice.
With out of 1,000. And then you can see every page starts with an illumination, which are the different letters and all of his extra pieces. And he printed them right there in East Aurora, New York, in his print shop.
Cool. So do you have anything that, like, in terms of price range of some of the stuff that you're selling back here, is there something that's like extremely expensive or stuff that's just...
well, that set of books would be $500 for the series.
Okay.
So that's really one of the most expensive. And then I have this antique marble pedestal, and that's Italian. And that's, they're online for a lot more than what I have it for, but they run around $800, $900 online.
Wow.
They're about turn of the century again, and I've got it for about half of that.
Okay.
Here to sell.
Here to sell.
That's
that is the motto, isn't it?
It is the motto.
That is the motto.
We're here to sell. And we always like to give people a little bit of discount as well, because that's why I'm here.
There you go. So I noticed this typewriter over here on the corner, and the reason why I mentioned is because we did a television show called Auction Addicts a few years ago, and the host of the show was named Sammy Brocklesby, or Sammy B.
Okay.
And she found in a storage locker a very old vintage typewriter that was it was a Fox from maybe 1947 vintage.
Yep.
That auctioned off for something like $475.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey.
You can't even plug this in.
No, it's an Underwood, but they use the same tape as they use currently. So it's the same tape in the old. This is a 41 Underwood that you would get for a brand new typewriter today.
So how much is this one going for?
I've got it marked $125.
See, Sammy's got you beat.
But I told you could have it for $90. So I'm waiting for you to come back before you leave.
Well, I'm going to think about it.
All right.
Well, Tom, I appreciate your time today. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
And it's nice seeing what you have back here.
Thanks.
And hearing a little bit about how you got into this and what you do with it.
All right, great.
Good luck at the show.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Thanks.
We're here at another booth at Tanner's Marketplace with Steve.
How you doing?
Hey, so you're one of our vendors today. Tell us a little bit about some of the collectibles you've got in here.
I just got a little bit of everything. I've been collecting for all my life. I got the bug from my mom. She always said, there's always room for something else, so here it all is.
Now that gets dangerously close to sounding like that collecting and hoarding, that there's a very, very fine line.
Oh yeah, there is. But all my stuff is good stuff.
Well, there you go.
That's all there is to it.
Oh, okay. Well,
tell that to my wife.
They're okay. Well, yeah, my ex too.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
There you
I'm
go.
not going to go there. So I noticed you've got some military stuff here.
Yeah, over the years, my dad and I used to collect a lot of the military stuff years ago, back when stuff was a lot cheaper than it is now, and I try and sell it just to get rid of it, sell it cheap, but yeah, I've just got a little bit of everything, and I've enjoyed collecting pretty much all my life.
Now, I love those helicopters, but you got to tell me a little about those helicopters.
Yeah, those are probably made in the Philippines. They're probably about 10, 15, 20 years old. Okay. And then I got odds and ends. I even got a F4 stick grip, which I used to fly the F4s out at the Air National Guard here in Reno.
Oh, wow.
And I was out there from 71 to 95 and flew the back seat of the F4 for 19 of the 25 years I was out there. But
well,
it was fun. I missed that.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Your service for that. Wow, how exciting. An F4 pilot.
It was fun. But, yeah, I just got a little bit of everything.
So if somebody wanted to, like if someone saw something in your booth here and they really wanted to reach out to you, how can they contact you? Like a website or email address?
Are you kidding? I'm old guy.
You're old.
We don't have any of that old stuff, but yeah, I got it.
So they have to find you here then.
A lot of times people do, or they get a hold of me through a lot of people, but yeah, I've got an email that. But if anybody...
Oh, I love these wooden boats.
Yeah, those are old. They're what they used to make during the war, because they couldn't get the metal. So a lot of people made their own, kids made their own toys.
Are these are these vintage? I mean,
yeah.
So these are from the 40s?
They're probably from the World War II.
Wow.
And some of them were kits that had the paper and stuff, and then, but these ones were all handmade and by some kid at one time during the war.
Wow.
Yeah, and then this old radiator, it came out of one of the old hotels. I think it was torn down about the 70s here in downtown Reno. And this is an old
any logo or anything on it?
No, I can't remember what the name of that hotel was.
An old Mapes or something?
No, it was an old brick 5-story or so hotel that was kind of where the Harrah's parking lot is now.
Okay.
But I can't remember the name of the darn place, what it was. Maybe somebody knows. I can't. But yeah, that came out of there. It came out of a bathroom in the old hotel when they were selling everything out of it, and then they tore it down.
Yeah.
After that.
Okay, now I remember roller derby in the 70s. Those skates are definitely not 1970s.
No, those are from the 50s, and I destroyed a lot of those skates making scooters out of them.
I gotta say, those do not look comfortable to me at all.
Yeah, you had to have those hard sole shoes that they'd clamp onto.
Oh.
So that's
okay.
And then there was one strap that went around your ankle, and then you had a key that would tighten that clamp, and it would go across the front of your shoe. And that was for the old shoes that had the hard soles on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was born and raised in this town, grew up in this town, and had a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Over the years. But it's been fun.
Okay.
I enjoy doing Tanner's.
Nice.
Get to talk to a lot of people. My wife says, yeah, go to Tanner's. You love talking to people, and you won't bug me during the day. So.
Well, I certainly appreciate you talking to me today.
I appreciate it. It's been fun. I enjoy doing this.
Thanks, Steve. Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, we're at another booth here at Tanner's Marketplace, and we're talking to yet, believe it or not, another Steve. Hey, Steve. Welcome to the show of Old House Antique Showcase.
Thanks.
So I'm just looking at your booth here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the things you've got here?
We picked up some of the buckles. I do Reno rodeo, so it's easy to get buckles.
I'll bet. These are nice ones.
Some of the other stuff, the old shirts, they're kind of outdated now, but everybody likes them. Some of the Acura for team ropers.
to maybe take a closer look at some of these. I notice you've got lots of coins here too.
Yeah, these are all the different challenge coins. They got Disneyland on them. They got Queen Elizabeth, Queen Mary, all that good stuff.
Statue of Liberty.
Right. There's even a Trump one in the corner down there.
Now, was that before or after he was elected?
See, I knew you were going to ask me that.
I had to.
I think this was one before. I don't know if you once did, yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been coming to Tanner's Marketplace?
We've been coming to Tanner's a couple years.
Okay.
Most of the time we do gun shows.
Oh, okay. So, speaking of guns, I noticed you have a couple over here.
Yeah.
Not real guns. Are these cap guns?
No, those are prop guns for the movies.
Hollywood guns.
Oh, you're probably somebody I should talk to then.
Real guns.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever worked on a set as a safety advisor for gun use?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Are you an actor?
No.
Not an actor. You're just you're like a prop master. Okay.
We just like guns.
Well, we are in Nevada after all. Ooh, tell me about this ship. It's what?
We don't know much about it. We've had it for a long time.
Oh, it's a beauty. Okay. What's one of the things you like about doing shows like these?
Talking to all the customers that come in, the people, the different vendors.
Okay. So you're making a whole weekend of it?
Oh, yes. Yeah. We set up on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. Sunday we tear down and go home.
There you go. All right, well, anything else you want to show us today, Steve? Or
no, we're good.
Your booth is your booth?
The booth is the booth.
The booth is the booth. All right, Steve, thanks for being on Old House Antique Showcase with us.
All right, no problem.
So we're here at Bears and Steins here at the Tanner's Marketplace, and we've got, is it Dave and Michael?
Yep.
Okay, guys, thank you for being on Old House Antique Showcase for this episode. Tell us a little bit about your booth here.
Well, my daughter, I gave her a Boyd's bear when she was 3 months old. She's had it her whole life, and I got her to start collecting Boyd's teddy bears. And I myself bought a couple of Oktoberfest Steins back in Germany in Oktoberfest. I loved them so much they got me started on collecting Steins. And well, we both kind of let it get away from us here, and so I come out as a hobbyist for this show and sell some of the extras I've bought at estate sales and such, and at auction houses.
Sure.
Let me give a little shout out to Lightning Auctions here in town. They are kind of a great place for acquiring both of our items. So mostly on the table today you see German Steins. We have West German Steins, and then we have musical Steins with a music box in the base.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly West German also.
So you listen to music while you drink?
Yes, and usually the ones that play How Dry I Am.
Okay. That's very fitting.
I just like it when they spook people when they pick them up, because they never expect them to make noise right after you tip them.
You know, that would have happened to me. I would have spilled beer or whatever I was drinking all over myself.
Then over here we have some pre-war Steins. That's regimental Steins, and we have some pre-war Steins, and then 19th century Steins over there.
Okay.
Do you know the way to tell the difference?
I have no clue.
Well, it's very easy, actually. I'll give you a 1-minute
Please, that'd be great.
instruction on how to tell the age of beer steins.
Okay.
Okay, this is a modern Stein. Usually has just a label on the bottom that says made in Germany.
Okay.
And you'll notice how crisp the painting is because it's machine applied. That's a modern Stein after the wall fail.
Okay.
Now the West German Steins, they often have a marking of made in West Germany on the bottom. This is Goertz, one of the great houses. There's 3 or 4 of the houses that make most of the signs during that period, they only knew how to make signs with craftsmanship back then. So you get these wonderful quality signs that aren't that old.
Okay.
And so that's after 1945 until the wall fell. Then you have pre-war steins like this. You can tell they're pre-war because they actually have made in Germany, usually indicated into the clay itself rather than a stamp. And this is from 1892 to 1945.
So now, was this pre-World War I or pre-World War II?
Pre-World War II.
Well, okay.
And then you can always tell the ones that are pre-1892 because they have only maker's marks on the bottom and they don't say made in Germany. Because in 1892, the import regulations required the state of origin to always be posted on the item for sale. And so that way you can tell the age on those. And then a lot of times you can just use for the early ones things like the maker's mark. And then often there's a lid mark too that tell you the ages. For instance, this is a Dixon piece. We marked 1874 because it has the pre-1870 maker's mark.
Okay.
And at the same time it has the post-1876 electroplated mark. So we were able to identify it to that age.
So for something that's that old, what would be the value of that stein?
About 130 at retail. We usually sell a lot lower than that, though, because we're just hobbyists.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to get the top dollar, so to speak.
I see.
And that's what she does with the bears, too.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your bears.
So for my first birthday, my dad gave me one of these bears. And it looked just like this one, except for it had a red hat and a little red scarf. And I've been trying to find the same bear ever since. And so all of these bears are bears I had bought from Boyd Fairs in trying to attempt to find the right bear. And I found 2 that are very similar. This one's super similar, but not quite. One day I'll find it, but for now I just want to share it. So
Nice.
I don't do these for a profit at all. If kids come by, I'll give them for almost free. But
So who came up with the name Bears and Steins?
Well, it was pretty much obvious. She's got bears and I've got steins. So it kind of just flows natural there.
All right.
we can't have beer, so bear's pretty close.
Yeah, well, you know, you could make that a play on word, couldn't you? Beers and bears.
And a lot of people that are my age think of the Bernstein Bears when they hear that too.
Well, you know, I read the Berenstain Bears, the whole series, to my sons when they were babies. So.
And I did her.
Oh.
So that's our booth.
Okay. Well, looks like you guys, I like your setup, and thank you for the history lesson on the Steins. That was awesome. And best of luck to you here at Tanner's Marketplace.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Have a nice day.
You too. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Antique Showcase. Join us next episode when we return to Tanner's Marketplace to interview a few more vendors and have a few more surprises in store. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Antique Showcase.
Clarkson Antiques and Collectibles Mall is now open in the former grocery outlet. Come and enjoy unique shopping for fabulous gifts and home decor. Clarkson Antiques and Collectibles Mall is now the largest dealer in northern Nevada. See us today. 20 years of incredible finds, friendly staff, and already 3 years in our new home on Rock Boulevard. If you haven't been here yet, you're truly missing out. 20 dealers, over 7,000 square feet of antiques and collectibles, just about anything you can imagine. Easy parking, but stay a while. Antiques and Treasures Rock. Open 7 days a week, 10 to 6. The new Clarkson Antiques and Collectibles Mall is really big. I mean really, really big! Now with over 27,000 square feet of antiques, gifts, and collectibles.
Carson Antiques and Collectibles Mall is really, really big!